Hello, this is Decimal, and in front of me is WoFi. WoFi is a portable 10-voice sampler keyboard. It has a sequencer, a unique effect module, built-in speakers and a mic, a free platform so users can store, upload, and share samples, Wi-Fi connectivity, a flash cartridge memory, and so much more. Quick disclosure, WoFi was sent to me over for review, but the creators of WoFi have no say in the content of this video, so let's get into it. To load a new patch from another screen, simply press the exit button. Now you can use the nav rotary knob to select a different patch. Press down on the nav rotary knob to load a new patch. In the envelope section, we have ADSR control and 3 different destination modes. In amp mode, the envelope is assigned to the volume. In filter mode, the envelope is assigned to the filter, and combined envelope adjusts both the volume and the filter envelope simultaneously. The filter is a digital low-pass filter with 2 different slopes and resonance. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the filter. Texturer is an effects processor that uses granular synthesis and shimmer effects that help evolve the sound. It has 4 parameters: depth, chaos, size, and density. Depth controls the dry and wet signal. Chaos determines which grains are sampled. Size sets the size of the grains, and density controls the density of the grains. Also, texture can be configured in mono or stereo. Assigning the LFO is very simple. Just press learn and turn the knob you want to automate. In this example, I am automating the filter cutoff. The LFO has 3 different wave shapes: triangle, square, and saw. It also has a sync and non-sync mode and a rate and intensity knob. The keyboard features 25 velocity-sensitive keys with monophonic aftertouch. It also has an up and down transpose button, and although the keys aren't fully sized, they feel pretty good. The master section has 2 knobs, one for headphone volume, which is what I'm using to record, and the other is the master volume knob. WoFi has a 16-step sequencer. Pressing start runs the sequencer. Press it again to stop. You have a tempo knob to change the sequencer's tempo, and you can also use the tap button to set the tempo. You have various different pad modes, and pressing clear will clear the current sequence. To add notes to the sequence, press the edit button and then punch in some notes. You can then also press solo to layer notes on top of the sequence. To view the waveform of the current sample, press Shift and Int. Now you can see the current sample. In this mode, the chaos knob selects the start point. Density selects the end point. Size will change the view window position, and depth changes the view window size. A really interesting feature is the ability to change the sample playback bitrate with ease. I will now cycle through the different bitrates, and here's a chart of what the bitrates are. In the player section, you have playback control of the sample, including pitch, time stretch, and glitch effects. You can record a sample using the line-in or the built-in microphone. You can change the recording modes by flipping the switch. In this example, I'll be using the external mic. You can press the record button to arm the sampler recorder, and you can adjust the gain and monitor the recording. Now, when you press and release the record button, you start the recording, and pressing the record button again will stop the recording. Connecting your WoFi to Wi-Fi is pretty straightforward, and after doing so, you can manage samples and patches using MyWofi's online portal that also has cloud storage. I'm now going to upload some samples from my 161 vintage synth sample pack. And what is neat about MyWofi is they also have a sample editor in browser. Then when you are happy with the samples, all you have to do is press send to MyWofi and send your samples over. Now MyWofi has Roland Juno 106 and Juno 60 samples. Another interesting thing is that WoFi comes with this removable cartridge with the capacity of 100 megabytes or 18 minutes of audio. This cartridge can back up and store samples for your WoFi. The WoFi is an impressive synth. The build quality is solid and there's lots that the synth can do. It feels like an old school sampler with a bunch of modern upgrades, especially when it comes to sample management. Since the WoFi has 10 voices, some things I would like to see in the future is a way to stack voices on top of each other or be able to split the keyboard into 2 different patches. Not sure if this is possible, but these are some features that would be really nice. The texture is a very interesting effects processor, but some people might just want classic reverb, delay, and chorus, so I think swapping out the texture with other effects might be a really cool feature. I also noticed that when reassigning the touch strip to another location, the values did not quite fit the full range of the destination, so it might be nice to have a wider range when it comes to the touch strip. When I first started playing the synth, it felt like time was melting away, which does not happen to me with gear very often. The UI, the interface, the overall experience is very intuitive. I like the filter, the sample sound processing, the ability to change the bitrate in seconds, and all the online sample support. The sequencer gets the job done, but do not expect electron levels of depth when it comes to sequencing. The WoFi is a great standalone device for ambient music, but it's not an all-in-one groove box. If you want to make beats with the WoFi, you're going to need to connect it with other gear. Luckily, there are plenty of inputs and outputs for the WoFi, including headphone out, left right line out, left right line in, MIDI through, MIDI in, MIDI out, mod gate out, CV out, gate in, CV in, and sync out and in. I tested the battery life for a couple of hours without issue. WoFi is said to have 4 hours of battery life, which from my experience seems to be accurate. The speakers are pretty loud and the sound quality is pretty good, but using studio monitors or headphones is always going to be the better option in my opinion. The different sample management tools with the WoFi is a highlight. There's also the ability to share your samples with other WoFi users on their online portal, which is a great feature to have. Kiviak Instruments is a very small company based out of France, and this small team has poured years of passion into this device and it shows. I really enjoy what they created and I love supporting small companies that make great gear. I'll leave a link to more information about the WoFi in the description, and thank you very much for watching.